Harry Wilson, Mitrovic and Niskin scoring goals all night. Makes the championship look. And we are here. It is. Did you like that, Charlie? Did you like that?
It was a matter of time.
Mitrovic is still on fire.
I know.
And Fulham are back in the Premier League. When we recorded last week, I said I wanted to be in the studio supporting a Premier League team again. We've done it. We've got it nailed. I think if we turn Bournemouth over at the weekend, which you probably will know the result when this goes to air, we could well be the Championship title winners as well. But we're back in the top flight. This, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is a very, very special episode. It is the last episode of season 5. What an adventure we have been on with producer Charlie and some amazing show-stopping guests. Let's have it straight. We have done more than just get back to business. All right, we've done more than get back to business. But in this episode, Charlie, it began just off air by you being called a boingy, thingy, bouncy, tiggery, springy type chap. That's quite descriptive, mate, isn't it? I think it means you're abundant of energy and a lot of fun. So, wonderful thing about Tiggers is we're in the studio recording, and we do save the best to last. That's what the Foyne Jones Show is all about. Emily McCullagh, publicity engineers, managing director, friend of Foyne Jones, delivering kick-ass PR up and down the country and beyond for us. Welcome to Brighton and welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Mr. Jones.
How goes it over that side?
It's all right, actually. Yeah. It's all right. It's nice. I'm feeling
you relaxing now?
I'm relaxed now, yeah. I feel all right.
Did you make any notes?
Just a few.
Just 10 pages.
Anyone that knows me will know I love a note.
Just the 10 pages. So let's begin, Emily, because you're conscious, all right, and you're nervous, and it's on the front. Let's look in the camera and say, "Hello, Dave.
Hi, Dave. Hi, guys.
Hello,
hi,
Dave.
TPE. Hi, KPP Industry." Yeah. All right, are you happy now?
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else?
The Queen. I mean,
it's her birthday.
It's her birthday today. It would be rude not to mention that.
God bless. God bless her.
Charlie. Shout out to Charlie. And yourself, sir.
Thank you. I mean, the sir, that's unheard of.
Sorry,
yeah.
It's a little bit coming in my throat there. But
mate, geezer, just answer the phone. That's no. Yeah. Can you just sign this off? Read it, please.
Approve.
Approve. Yeah. That's how the relationship normally goes.
Yeah, and he ignores me beautifully.
I ignore with style. Ignore with style. So we do have a structure for the show, and I think we could say we've ticked off point 1. We've done a very different intro. I'll do it again for you.
Thanks.
Harry Wilson, Mitrovic and Niskins. Sorry.
I feel there's going to be another few
I mean, this should just be called the Fulham FC promotion special. I'm still on a high from Tuesday night, but it all went spectacularly wrong. We travelled up to Derby on Friday. At half-time, we're 1-0 up and promoted. Nah, of course we don't do it. Of course we get turned over 2-1. But we did turn it round. And also, Emily, we will talk about your football team.
Yes, please.
Because we've got another one of these in the studio. Another one of these. Another West Ham United fan. It's almost been a West Ham United takeover this season.
What can I say? We're popular. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So we will be bringing that in later on. But first of all, let's talk about PR, the publicity engineer story, and a little bit about what you do when I'm not driving you mad. So what do you get up to?
I don't leave much room, that does it.
No.
Okay, so publicity engineers. We are a specialist PR agency. We specialise in kitchens,
I'm just going to spin my chair around a bit.
Bedrooms, bathrooms, home interiors, build construction, and that spans a multitude of types of clients, be it yourself, individuals, design professionals, manufacturers, distributors, suppliers. And yeah, basically, because we specialise in this sector, our clients have the guarantee that every single inquiry into the business is relatable to their brand and business. And with that, they get an expert. You want 1,000 words about a tap? I'm your lady.
And the publicity engineer story, right? I mean, you've kind of overlooked some of the big parts there. You've been going a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, 26 years. We are, I would say, one of the few specialist KBB PR agencies left in the industry. And my God, what a journey we've been on. Ultimately, the recession coming through, and then we have Brexit and everything else. Our portfolio of clients has dramatically changed throughout time. So, as I'm sure all PR agencies will know, you can have a nice knit of 5, and then all of a sudden we can catapult and go up to 30, and then all of a sudden something happens, and the first thing to go typically is PR and marketing. What we have learned, though, recently since the pandemic is that now actually PR and marketing has become more of an integral part of a business and a brand, rather than us being the first people to go. We're actually now being looked at as a key criterion to save within the business, knowing that basically without product brand awareness, you're effectively an unknown entity to your customers.
I mean, if you just go through my LinkedIn feed, which you do, which you do, which is, I guess it's
I'm
quite.
forced to like every post.
I guess it's no one's forced. No one is forced. Everything is done with pure emotion.
It's with love.
But as our retained PR company, I like a little bit of support in there sometimes. But what I was going to talk about, and should we do a magic trick, Charlie? Yeah. No. What I was going to talk about. Shout out to James Wood, the magician, #the magician. But what I was going to talk about is that on LinkedIn at the moment, everyone is some form of a branding guru. It could be a personal brand stronger than your company brand. Don't forget your company brand. It's got 1.5 billion impressions a day. And you're hearing that. What that says to me is that whether you're a multinational, multi-million pound business, or whether you're a start-up entrepreneur beginning your journey, if you invest in the right PR, the right marketing, the right branding, you've got these amazing platforms now to tell a story. Your journey, I guess, began with just the printed publications, didn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, I can
So what's that
remember.
been like?
I mean, I can remember when we had colour separations. That's what we used to.
What's that then?
Well, it's called a colour sep. Ultimately, where you literally sent off wording.
Told me then, Charlie, didn't it? You know, I wanted technical.
In the post, snail mail, and you'd actually send it to have it sent away. I mean, you'd be a nightmare to approve stuff like that if it was coming through the post. You need it quick, instant. But yeah, I mean, it's always been printed, and we
last 2 episodes, I've just got bashed, didn't I? I got bashed by Holly last episode, didn't I? Do you know what I mean? We won't go paragliding because you're scared. Just tell the truth. Okay, I'm going to tell all my listeners I'm scared of paragliding.
We can divert it for another time. But no, we're print media specialists. We have always professed to be print media specialists. We're not a digital marketing agency. However, the times have changed, and with print magazines, you now get sister titles. Every single print magazine now has a digital version of itself, be it a publication, be it a blog, be it a social media platform that they're utilising. And so, yeah, we've had to diversify. We've had to change how we communicate. But I think our core value to our clients is that we are content creators. So you can look at an empty page and we will fill that with content that is relevant to your brand, relevant to your product range, and it will get you out there, get you noticed, get you heard.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you. I think Robin Teneriff's going to be loving that.
Hopefully.
Hi,
Rob.
It's 33 degrees out there at the moment.
I refuse to talk to him on hot days. Yeah. Typically, it's raining where I am, you know, and he'll just pan to his beautiful.
But probably
garden.
when you get a bit of sunshine, like, I mean, we're blessed, we're on the coast, so when the sun's out, it's lovely. I mean, right now, just driving from the station, I'm like, I'm really sorry, we're not going towards the sea. We go 5 minutes in the wrong direction, but we'll do the tour afterwards, because when the sun's out, it's a beautiful place. But you do get addicted. So, like, you know, we had a little break in Tenerife, and we're now looking at maybe like another little break. You know, just another little one before the summer, and you know, and it happens. But nowadays, you can call them business retreats, can't you? Yeah. You know, I could do a bit of work. I could do some, you know, brainstorming, but clear thinking. I can justify
everyone works
that.
remotely now. I mean, ultimately, you are available 24/7.
Yeah.
So where does it matter?
But how does that work with you? Because you are, and this is a real compliment. You very, very rarely switch off. I mean,
I don't.
I often say, what, like, you know, I'm not sending this for reply, or it doesn't matter, we can do it next week, but you're on it. How do you find that? Because you're in a leadership role, and I'm going to come on to that, because you're a female in a leadership role in an industry, and I think that's something we should celebrate. I genuinely do. So we'll come on to that. But how do you get your work? Do you get your work-life balance right, or do you get it spectacularly wrong?
Oh, spectacularly wrong.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, and I have absolutely no shame in.
So we can give no advice to anyone at all, because I get it more. I get it wrong more than right as well.
Yeah, no, totally. Without question, for me, I am all about where my passion lies. And I love my job. I love my industry. I love everything about it. I love being creative. I like coming up with an idea. You know, I was walking on my way to the office, had a very random idea that popped into my head, WhatsApped him, he humoured me, quite liked it.
I do like the idea. Yeah.
However, we'll go into that later. But it's those types of things. I don't switch off, because I seek inspiration in everything, be it an advert that I see, or a bus going past with a billboard, or hearing something on the radio, or someone saying something on the news, it will get my train of thought going. And I'm really, really passionate. Also, business has changed. Business is now available 24/7. We work with freelancers. They don't work 9 to 5. I have to be available.
Sorry, we just told you that. Charlie. Charlie, what would you say the typical freelancer's working day is, mate?
12 midnight till 12 midnight.
Yes, son. You know what I mean? Yeah, fair play. We did plan that, to be fair. We didn't plan, but that comes with its challenges as well. But what I see in terms of what you're delivering from my business is value, and it's value in terms of PR support, marketing support, emotional support, creative support. Peter, that idea, I'm going to be honest, is rubbish. Because you need to be told that sometimes. Because I can, you can be fixated.
Well, what are you paying me for?
Yeah, and other times as well. I can be murder over some details which don't matter, and I forget the really important stuff. And actually, I think from an industry PR perspective, the industry needs to think beyond. Here is a bathroom.
Absolutely.
Here is a kitchen. Here is our new product. It's actually the storytelling element, and for me, it's the people and the personalities behind it. That's what I'm excited about, and that's where I think some businesses do it fantastically. And some are, some are pushing and they're trying and they're making those first steps. And I think you can help people then, can't you? You can almost hand-holding it will be okay.
That's exactly right. And it's also forging a path ahead for them, driving interest into their business and putting themselves in front of the customer. Because ultimately, if you're not creating opportunities for dialogue with your customers, how are you going to continually reach them? How are you going to be able to generate new business? All you're going to be able to do is take care of your current base. You're not going to be able to expand, you're not going to be able to grow. And right now, that's critical. We have to see new avenues and new opportunities to grow. We always have to be putting the feelers out there because you never know what might fall off. Yeah. You never know what might disappear. So there needs to be contingency plans in place all the time, and good branding is a good contingency plan for any business.
So let's talk about Emily McCullagh. The working week, all right, a week in the life. So what? I mean, you work remotely. You work in the office.
I work in the office.
Let's just talk us through what you do. What you get up to.
So I have a lovely office. It's in the centre of town in Romford, and nice up high in the gods. So I get to look out over the town and see the London skyline, which is always nice. I can always tell what the weather's going to be like. If you can't see London, not a good day. Need a coat. I get up Monday through to Friday. I'm always working. I'll be in the office probably about 8 o'clock, and I'll probably leave the office mid-afternoon, about 3 o'clock, go check on the dog, Mr. Mowgli.
How is Mowgli?
Mowgli's very well, thank you, although rather grumpy. As I left this morning, he was like, this is odd.
We had a Snoop crisis, I got told by the phone this morning.
Really?
Jane and Harry took him out, and Frisbee was lost.
Oh, devastation.
So I mean, I was heartbroken on the phone just hearing the noise, thinking, how are you going to deal with this? Because
how are you going to get him
I'm off to meet Emily. I'm going to Brighton. I'm recording my podcast. Good luck.
Bye.
And I haven't lost it. I have lost before. You know the river outside our office that obviously leads into the sea.
It's in the water.
I might have misthrown one and watched it float off to France before, but Jack O'Connell's got previous. Do you know what I mean? Honestly, Sloop Frisbee is like Trigger's broom.
I can imagine.
It's like Trigger's broom. That is the best way I can describe it. It's like Trigger's broom. Mowgli's all right though, is he?
He's very, very well. And I mean, he's a big part of my day, obviously. I need to go home, make sure he's walked and everyone's happy, give him a tickle, and then go back to the office. For me, every day is different. I'm on deadline all the time, and I don't know what I'm going to be on deadline for. So there's an element of planning, there's an element of strategy, obviously. We know what briefs we need to fulfil for our clients. But there's also a huge element of being able to react quickly. I get an inquiry, I've got 10 minutes to be able to get some information back to said person, otherwise we've missed the opportunity. And if we don't get back to them in that time, then that's it gone. I think the business has a very good reputation for being able to fulfil any editorial requests quickly, accurately. I think that's important, but also being able to offer a comprehensive, broad range of products and services because, we do the kitchens, yes, we do bedrooms, we do bathrooms, but we also do smart home automation, so intelligent build solutions. And there are backstories to that. Manufacturing processes, special surface treatments, as you said, buying local and the value of buying from a British family and stuff like that. So I sort of involve myself in every bit of it, Monday through to Friday.
Did you look at your notes then?
Yeah.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they were for show, to be honest.
Just a
little bit there. I like the West Ham notes down there.
Thank you.
I clocked them earlier.
Yeah, I know, because I wanted to reference when I went to the old bowling ground tour with my dad.
See, and that's why you proper West Ham, because it's bowling ground, it's never Upton Park.
Oh, God, no, it's bowling.
It's never Upton Park.
Bowling.
Remember that, Charlie? Always the bowling. Always the bowling.
That's where you drink.
So let's talk about, you know, the job title, the managing director, the top of the pile. When did that happen for you?
2 years ago now, 2020, I believe. Beginning of, what a year to get promoted. Straight away, lockdown hits, and all of a sudden I got, deal with the business. But actually, it was a great challenge, and my responsibilities, my role within the business has always been very much a managerial role, and I've overseen a lot of the PR side of things and the marketing side of things and the design elements and creative and even commercial side of the business. So I look out for all the new clients that we look at, and I do all the new business pitches and stuff like that. So... But really, for me, it's a tricky one because I don't like to play my own trumpet.
That's what we're here for. We'll do it. Me and Charlie do. I think it's something. I genuinely think it's something to be celebrated, because I know, obviously, from the outside looking in and the inside looking out, I know the industries, the companies, the personalities that you represent. I work with those businesses myself on a recruitment perspective, on a digital storytelling, videography perspective. And if I take the recruitment angle and I look at some of the challenges we face with said businesses, whether it's attracting new people in, whether it's replacing talent, getting to know the personalities, getting to know the egos, getting to know the thought processes behind the vision, all of that becomes part of the recruitment piece. But you're on the other end of that. You're saying, well, you know, if we've got good news, we've got to tell it, we've got something happening, we've got to get people interested in it. I find that some of the best businesses I work with, and this isn't a business development plug, but we might as well do it, but I think some of the best businesses I work with, even some of the guests we've got on this show, could take things so much bigger if they got their PR and their branding and their marketing and their story right. Yeah. Because they've got amazing stories to tell. That's what blows me away. Almost every guest, bar none, has given me something which I didn't expect. And you're like, wow, if you've got a medium of social or print or advertising where you can get that out and people buy into it, everyone's got something there. And that I guess is the genius behind what you're doing and what you're supporting.
Yeah, I think so. And I just think, you know, my promotion was just really a natural progression from all the elements of me doing exactly that within the business, me knowing Rob for as long as I have done, and, you know, him feeling confident and trusting in the fact that I'm going to look after his baby whilst he's over in Tenerife and make it a success. And I hope he sees the changes that have been made. I mean, if you looked at our website 5 years ago, it's unrecognisable to where it is today. I mean, the rebranding that we've done, we're colourful, we're current, everything's designed in a way where it has traction online as well as in print, and I just enjoy being able to completely change our business model as well and be able to get freelance writers on board and have them part of our writing team and utilise all those different experiences and expertise, which I don't have as well. You know, yes, I'm a writer, but there are lots of things our writing team bring to the table, brand strategy, content creation.
I mean, your writing is good.
Thank you.
I mean, I want to criticise it. I want to find fault. And,
I love to write.
And sometimes I just argue just because
I want to say something.
Yeah, I just can't keep saying yes. That's great. So I do. But it is. But what you've been able to do, I think, with the work you do with us, is not just get our recruitment offer, not just get our video offer, not just get kind of the history of the business. You've also been able to kind of pick up the personalities of us, and that's really important.
Officially, I am Peter Jones. At times, it's scary when I'm writing.
That must be a trouble in place.
Genuinely terrifying. I'm going to be honest, but no. But I have to take my hat off and then be another woman, and then take my hat off and be another man. Everybody's different.
But recently, the work you've done with Holly, right? You know, that hasn't just made a difference. It's actually motivated Holly to be thinking more creative and building that creative.
It's just giving ideas,
but it's building that in there. Like, so, well, that's been done, but I could do it differently. I've seen it. That's 6 weeks in, and it's made a massive, massive difference. And that's something that we have to celebrate. And I think if any business says to me, you know, where would you recommend? Would you back them? I'd go like 100%, because actually for me there's fun. But it's done with fun. It's done with personality. And even when we was up at the KBB show hanging out together, there was a lot of fun. But there was a lot of work being done as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Charlie was like, "Whoa, where are they going now?" You know, these were big meetings and big people, and it actually turned what could have been something quite not static, but it turned into something really powerful.
Yeah, I mean, we're still riding off the high, obviously, of KBB. For me, I loved it. Just being around my clients on their stands for 2 days, checking out, obviously, the industry, catching up with all my old friends and colleagues, and actually being able to hug people. What a novelty! And
I mean, I still look back fondly to myself and David Walcott. Hello, David.
In the car park.
Hugging two strange middle-aged men on a zebra crossing. One on their way out the show, one on their way in. Obviously, I was on my way in. David's a much earlier starter than me. Hugging on the zebra crossing, blocking traffic. I mean, it was quite a surreal moment, but actually really powerful, because we worked together with all the brilliant stuff we did with Saddle Up. He's someone who's visible, you know, on social platforms, and it was just great to kind of. It's the first time we met in person, but it was like, well, we know each other, and that's powerful in itself.
But that, I think, shows you the strength of everything that you guys have been doing, sort of, you know, during lockdown, and obviously the digital content and storytelling, is that people already know who you are. They genuinely feel like they've already met you when they probably haven't.
I don't want to mention Fulham's promotion again, Charlie.
But we're going to.
But I've been genuinely blown away by the amount of messages I've had. Right?
Yeah, because they genuinely care.
I mean, I'm probably the only Fulham supporter that people know, you know. but they've just been cut, and I'm like, wow, that's really nice, you know.
But you show it matters. So because it matters to you.
Yeah, it's quality, and actually from you know, let me tell a story. So we were in, I think it was lockdown 2, weren't we? We were in lockdown 2. So we were just after the trendy meal deal, as they would call it. Do you know what I mean? I mean, meal deal's not the technical term that was used. Do you know what I mean? But it was eat out to help out, or meal deal. But we were just after that, and we went back into second lockdown, and I was thinking of what we can do, and the lockdown diaries were starting to be born. I made that decision that I wanted to invest in our PR, and I spoke to lots of different businesses, you know, and I did. I spoke to lots of different businesses. You were one of them, and you know, hands down, by the end of the first conversation and second conversation, it was like, yeah, this feels right. Let's work together. Let's commit to it. You know, let's not play with it. Let's commit to it. And I wanted to find a PR partner that could tell our story. I wanted to build the Foyne Jones recruitment group brand. I wanted to launch almost to the industry the Jones digital brand. I had to do that by having fun. Had to do that by having fun. And I had one other request. I wanted to get on the rain.
Yes, I know. And I still haven't delivered. So we've nailed
3 out of 4.
I know.
We've probably nailed 7 out of 4.
You can't say I haven't tried.
We've probably nailed 7 out of 4. But Lorraine, if you're watching, I'm here. I am here. I am available to come on your show.
I've contacted her. What can I say?
No, that's it.
I need to dangle a better carrot.
Well, yeah, we'll have to come. Maybe we dangle Charlie.
Double act.
He could bounce his way in.
Oh yeah.
He could bounce his way in. But no. I mean, joking aside, no offence, Lorraine. I've been blown away by the difference you've made to myself in terms of my own PR and my own brand, and actually getting a handle on. Yeah, I do love football, and I do love Fulham, and I do a lot of stuff for charity that I probably don't talk about as much as I.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not that type of person. I'm definitely not a 5 o'clock in the morning change the world guru. I'm not one of them either. You know, I'm not one of them change the
life coach.
5 o'clock change the world merchant. Not me.
Not you.
You know, but I have been able to give really good employability advice. I'm planning something which you're not aware of yet, which is career sessions without the bullshit, which is something which I'm really passionate about rolling in the next few months out, to give people that kind of chance to talk about where they are at the moment, talk about where they think their career can go, but without no recruitment pressure, more like an open counselling.
Yeah.
Counselling, that's the wrong word. It's just a career session without that. So we got that rolling. They come from the work we've done together, because we've done 20 episodes. This is the 20th episode of this podcast, which is like game changing. We've published the Lockdown Diaries, released the Lockdown Diaries. I couldn't do that on my own. We've done that with the help of you and publicity engineers. So I wanted to end the first half of the show just by saying thank you for everything you've done for Foyne Jones, and just reminding the listeners that Fulham are a Premier League team.
In case you forgot.
We'll see you the other side of the ads.
Life-changing recruitment for the KBB, builders merchant and construction industries. Creative social content, specialist knowledge, world-leading video technology, helping you find career happiness and helping your business attract its stars of the future. We are Foyne Jones. This is what we do.
Harry Wilson's Mitrovic. Oh, I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to do it. I might give you a different one. I'll give you a different one. All right, okay. Welcome back to episode... Hi. Yeah, welcome back to episode 20 of the Foyne Jones Show. We're going to talk about PR, which is really boring now. No, I'm only joking, Emily. Look at the daggers. Look at the daggers.
Just cut me deep.
Anyway, so during the half-time interval, we've sold tickets for Charlie's show in London.
Yeah, I'm in Farringdon,
Emily's going to be Emily's dancing during the break. She's going to be doing a dance routine for you. So this is what happens in the world of the Foyne Jones Show. We never stop. The PR never stops.
Does not.
So I have to say, I wanted to find a partner that could deliver kick-ass PR for the business and do that for us. You've done that in abundance, all right? So I think we've covered the day job. We've covered the history. We know about you. And I just suggested to Charlie, season 6, I think we've got a potential co-host in the studio right now. I generally do. We could go Real Radio 1, mate, or Kiss FM with the regular co-host and all sorts of stuff.
Got to get catchphrase, some slogans going.
I've got one. Harry Wilson, Richard Neeskins.
I walked straight into that.
Yeah, you did. But there's potential co-hosting opportunities, and do you know what's amazing? I've already got guests talking about, can they come on the next season? When will you be recording?
That's great.
Will Charlie still be producing? Yes, is the answer to that. Yes, you can come on. Yes, Charlie still be producing, and yes, we're going to roll out another series. But let's finish episode 20 by not talking about Fulham Football Club. The second half, we're going to start by talking about your love of West Ham United.
Right. Yes,
Emily.
too right. Claret and blue, thank you very much. I mean, first of all, let's just get it simple that if we didn't support West Ham growing up, we didn't eat in our household.
That's a good reason.
It was a good rule, and one very easy to follow. So, funnily enough, all of us supported West Ham.
I remember when you showed me the photo of your old man on the scoot on the moped with a claret and blue V-neck on. Do you know what I mean?
Proper mod.
Proper West Ham mod.
Proper mod. I've got pictures of my dad meeting Bobby Moore and stuff as well, because he did an awful lot of stuff with the SOS, the Stars Organisation Society.
Every West Ham fan met Bobby Moore,
before it became Scope. So he'd done an awful lot of stuff with them.
Play.
But had, funnily enough, season tickets, Bobby Moore stand like everybody. Cousins had it, so you could always nick the tickets and go and see. It was really sad, actually, when we were no longer at the Old Bowling Ground. For me, I mean, it was the end of an era. Me and my dad actually went on the old ground tour. It was crazy going around all the old changing rooms, listening to all the old stories, seeing the difference between home and away's changing rooms. The fact that as soon as you walk in the away side, big West Ham symbol on the front, tiny little bath, one bath, I think, barely any showers, heating whacked up, aircon down, really make it feel comfortable for the opposition side when they come through.
Charlie does that at his five-a-side league.
Yeah, I can see that. He's got that evil glint. It's the evil glint in the eye.
That's standard across across
the board.
Games from the lower league to the not World Cup final, but to the Champions League. If you're going away, you're going away.
Yeah.
It's not meant to be pleasant. But I have to say this. I've said it when Jamie was on, and the Bowling was a very, very, very special football ground.
Absolutely.
It smelt football, atmosphere, intimidation.
Just the walk through the Bowling pub. I mean, just having a few pints in there before the game, that itself, it's a full event. It was a full day. And even though the new ground, yes, it's wonderful, but it doesn't have that history. It doesn't have that history. But as a West Ham fan, I mean, we'll watch them anywhere. It was rocking. It was rocking the other week in the Europa League, wasn't it? Can you believe it? We're like, what is it, 6th or 7th in the table now? I think, are we?
You're flying in the table, but I mean, you're in the semi-final of the Europa League, aren't you? I mean, that's what dreams are made of. And I think with Declan Rice, you've got
Chelsea on Sunday.
You've got a Rolls Royce with Declan Rice. You've got a future England captain. And what I thought was unbelievable was, he's still got that respect when Mark Noble comes on to get that armband to Noble and welcome him on the pitch.
I know, my favourite player.
And I know you wanted to talk about Mr. Noble, didn't you?
I do. I love him. What can I say?
How deep's the love?
Deep. Sorry, Dave.
It's just claret and blue
claret
love.
And blue Cappy love. Yeah, he's amazing. And also, funnily enough, the stuff that he was doing through lockdown, all of his charity work that he's been doing since, handing up his boots, as it were, has been incredible. And I've met him several times and followed his career. And
is he genuine in real life, as I believe he is?
Absolutely. Down to earth, really great. I mean, unbelievable striker. When he freaking hits at goal and get unbelievable scorer. Just
loves the penalty as well.
Loves the penalty. But for me, I mean, I'm old school, so you've got all these new young lads coming on. I mean, now when you buy a calendar, you don't know who half of them are. I mean, I remember with
who was your players growing up?
And Di Canio and Lampard and all of that.
I doubt you are. You wouldn't remember Frank McAvenny and Tony Cottee, would you? Like in the 80s, you remember them?
Yeah, Tony Cottee, of course.
Frank McAvenny. So who were the West Ham players that stood out for you as growing up?
I've got to say, I loved a bit of Di Canio.
Paolo.
Yeah. I mean, how could you not? I mean, Paolo Di Canio. And he still, to this day, is West Ham.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no change in that. He'll be forever West Ham. I think it's a lifeblood for our family, everything I do. Even with work, I'm always talking about West Ham. I mean, we've had West Ham weddings, we've had West Ham funerals in our family. Singing I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles is just a big part of our family. You want
to sing it now,
huge. Huh?
You want to sing it now?
Maybe later. I'm cool.
Okay. All right, no problem. So when you next go into a West Ham game?
I don't know. I haven't got anything planned. That's the sad truth.
Do you know what? I've got a secret to tell you. They're going to be playing Fulham twice next season.
Oh, that could be an interesting.
That was a great way of bringing that in there, Charlie. That was a great way. I've done that really, really
Okay, we'll go, but only on the home game. I'll meet you up for a pint.
All right, sweet. I'll get you tickets to Fulham West Ham at the Cottage, and you can get a feel for what we're about. We don't do too bad about West Ham, and again, I just think there's history. Bobby Moore played for us when he left West Ham, didn't he? So, and captained us in the FA Cup final against West Ham in the year I was born, and we lost 2-0. So I think there's a lot of links, but I think what comes through with yourself is, with Webb being from Romford, and it's West Ham's in your DNA, isn't it? It's just there.
I mean, who didn't have a Jeff Hurst t-shirt growing up?
Well, that's the Trevor Brooklyn. He's he's there, isn't he?
Classic. Phil Parks. I mean, met him at our on the bowling ground. I mean, Phil. Beeping Parks, I believe, I think was what was said when I met him, and I got some awesome pictures. But yeah, I just think it's all about the authenticity of the club. And I mean, you don't support West Ham because they're winning. Let's be honest.
You do, right? Charlie. Emily does sign her text messages off or WhatsApp messages off West Ham. You know what I mean? You get the irons. So it's there. It just happens, and I do it back. I don't even support West Ham. I don't know why I do that.
Mutual respect. That's what it is.
It probably is, but okay. So over the years at West Ham, have you got a favourite moment, a favourite goal, anything that you can go, wow, that was special?
Not really. Although, to be honest, a couple of years ago, we were on New Year's Day. My hubby had a box, funnily enough, at the bowling ground when he was involved with another company, actually, and. We had Jordan sitting behind us, one of the younger guys. Oh, my God, for the life of me, can't remember his surname. And he was getting frustrated at the fact that they wouldn't play. They just wouldn't play him. And he's there and we're sitting in the box. And we're surrounded by all these little young youth West Ham teams, all chomping at the bit to be able to get on the pitch. And I've got to say that was one of the most memorable things for me, purely because I've stopped watching the game more than anything, and I was sitting there talking to these young lads, and all they wanted to do was be on that pitch and play football, and they were just not getting pulled
It's
out.
really interesting when you see it from different people's perspectives.
Yeah.
So at the Derby game last Friday evening, I was sitting where we were sitting. Mitro's mum and dad, Mitro's dad, and I think his mum were there, and Harry Wilson's mum and his girlfriend and Nico his girlfriend. I don't know how I ended up there. It was just in the way, but it's really interesting when you see like different perspectives on it, because I'm a lifelong Fulham fan. I want Fulham to win, but you've got family and you've got friends that are wrapped up into it. I think it offers that, but West Ham for me have always offered that. We're West Ham United. We play on the floor. They're a football club. They bring you through, or they have brought you through. I think they've got the right manager that just fits at the moment.
Yeah.
When we went on our European adventure in 2010, and we went all the way to the final, Roy Hodgson just fitted the club.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely fitted what we were at Fulham Football Club at the time. So I think there's a feel-good factor about West Ham. I think you took about 10 million fans out to France for the last game, and it's Germany next. It's Frankfurt, isn't it? So that's going to be a couple of games. And genuinely, Emily, everyone at the Foyne Jones Show wishes you and every West Ham fan and all our West Ham previous guests all the best.
Thank you.
We will see you in the Premier League next season.
Come on, you Irons, is all I've got to say to that.
Come on, you Irons. So let's talk about some of the other sports-related PR that we've got going on at Foyne Jones, because it's amazing how we've kind of gone from being a specialist recruitment business that does really good recruitment to being a specialist recruitment business that can actually give a lot back. So
philanthropy's been a huge thing.
It is, and I think at the moment we're. I mean, the season's coming to an end, and sadly they just missed out on the playoff places. But Michael Class is at Lewis FC. We've been proudly supporting him, and you've helped us support him and raise his profile, and that's been brilliant. We're supported as sponsoring our first fighter. We got a boxer.
We
haven't we?
have a boxer.
Brad the Phoenix Cousins, another guest on the show. He's fighting in the end of May up at Doncaster Races. Tickets will be pushed out on my profile. We're going up there. I think we booked a hotel for the Friday and Saturday. I think.
Great, okay.
So I'm sorting all that out at the moment. So we're going to be there ringside, but something very different for us to support.
And then it's still industry relevant. I mean, the story we released actually went out yesterday to the industry, so that's sort of hopefully hit all of our journalist contacts' inboxes yesterday. We've already seen the story being picked up already. And what's great is the fact is he's come from the KBB industry. He's a former kitchen designer, and obviously there's that relevance for you guys. You're a KBB recruitment specialist, so you work in builders merchants.
Great episode,
KBB.
wasn't it, Charlie? When he said, before we start, he's just going to takes his top off. He's ripped everywhere, tattoos everywhere, Leeds United shirt on. He went, right, okay, I'm ready to go now. Leeds. But Brad's story is it's proper Rocky. It's really inspiring in terms of what he's doing. And he messaged me a couple of days ago because he's been training. I showed you the photos. He's been training at the Fury at the Fury camp. He didn't spar with Parker, but he's got photos with Parker. He's been sparring with the Fury brothers, and he's got himself tickets to the big fight on Saturday at Wembley. So do you fancy Tyson, or do you reckon Dillian's got a chance? Because you love your boxing.
I do love boxing. Yeah, my granddad was a huge fan of Ali, and I've obviously met Henry Cooper.
She's the perfect co-host, Charlie. She's West Ham, so we got the football element. She loves boxing, and she knows everyone in our industry.
Basically, I'm a guy who likes sport with boobs. That's what I am. Let's be honest.
Maybe she could take over and make it the Emily McCullagh show, and I'll just come in and do a bit of football.
Oh no, you
I'll do a Fulham round-up once a week. Yeah, I do, wouldn't it?
And over to sport.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're taking over. Okay, so but you like your boxing as well?
Yeah, I love my boxing.
So answer the question: who's going to win?
I don't know. It's a tricky one, really. It all depends on. I don't know what the weigh-in was. I don't know what the weigh-in was. Every enthusiast is saying like Tyson's got too much, Tyson's too good, Dillian's not going to get in. I just think Dillian might give him a whack. I know,
because he's a scrapper, Dillian, isn't he?
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Dillian. I don't know. I have no loyalty to either, but
no, I don't.
I think it's great to see big time boxing back. It's great to see British fighters taking each other on, not kind of going on different pathways. So let's see what happens. Apparently, it's going to be Tyson Fury's last fight. apparently. Who knows where it'll go?
Drive tickets up.
But that's something to look out for. And again, Bradley Cousins, you know, he was a guest on the show. We've got to give him a big shout out because he's got a 2-0 record. And he's in his third fight, and he's going to have Foyne Jones on his dressing gown and Jones Digital on his shorts. I think
is actually going to be able to help him in terms of getting nutritionists, sparring partners. So his dream of wanting to turn himself from, you know, kitchen designer into pro boxer, you're actually helping him realise. So bravo to you guys and your sponsorship helps.
And you know what, top lad, top family, you know. Fair play. I'm looking forward to watching him, to be honest.
And there's synergy as well with your charity of the year this year. We've got Balls for Brains, haven't we?
Brilliant charity.
Is your elected partner of the year, and you're working with John Tutty. He was a former guest, wasn't he? So
John was absolutely inspiring. He shared more than I expected anyone to share about his own battles. He held nothing back.
It was eye-opening, wasn't it?
He held nothing back, and I think that's kind of where you are, because when someone's that open about their challenges, and I got to know John just by giving him loads of football shirts, and he just blew me away, his positivity. So it's been brilliant to support him, and we've got quite a lot of other events for planned. But yes, we're going to give money, but raising the awareness is so important, and using rugby as a sport as a vehicle to take on mental health massively. We're glad we can be part of it, and just by sharing that, you know, that's really where I come back to where the PR comes from, Em, because it's not just about we're recruitment, we're really good. Yeah, I know we're really good. I know that we are really good at recruitment, but actually there are other things that you do as a person, as a business, and people you support, which really makes a difference. Like, you know, bring Charlie back in. Like, the work he's done has been fantastic. So we don't want to keep that to ourselves. We want to tell people how good the kid is and the work he's doing. And that's kind of the Foyne Jones experience, which we're about. It's great to have you as part of that. So let's just focus on what's next. So what's next? What have you got planned for Foyne Jones and Jones Digital next?
Let me just move to my notes.
We've got to get the notes in. I should have hid them, Charlie. Really, should I? I really should have. But what have you got planned?
Well, we've got lots of things in the pipeline. I don't want to obviously give too much away, but there's a lot of partnerships that Foyne Jones are working on, where they're sort of involving themselves with a lot of their clients to sort of come up with more bespoke custom recruitment processes, which is great. So those things will be soon to be announced. We've also got some more digital tours that have all been secured up and down the country, which is great. So those are other things. Of course, I think we need to look at, seasons 5 of the fantastic Back to Business podcast, and sort of what was achieved from that, who we've seen, but also potentially what we're doing next. What are you guys doing in terms of your next podcast? Who knows? Will there be an episode, season 6? So that's everything that's going on in the pipeline. And like we did with the Lockdown Diaries, turning from video. Yes, I think there's ways in which we can discuss stuff like that. There's room for new branding opportunities. We definitely, and one thing we have is we have the podcast diaries to write. There you go. Which is quite exciting. I'm going for a magenta cover. Okay. I'm magenta cover. I think we go bigger than the Lockdown Diaries this time. Pink. We go bigger. I'm thinking like sexy comic book feel. Nice. Yeah. Glossy. Don't know how I'm going to achieve that yet, but they're kind of the takeaways I'm going to give you when you get back on the train to Brighton. Yeah, I'll just write all these down. Here we go. I want A, B, C, D, and E, and I'll help. Now I've got some really good ideas. I want to tell in anything, I want to tell the story behind creating a podcast series. What it means to each guest who's been on. The whole doubt. For me, the magic of this series has been the fact that we're in the studio together and we're able to do it. And in answer to your question there regarding season 6, as long as this guy and this guy, that's me and him, are in the same country, and we can actually be here, we will be recording another series. Because great. It's we've actually got new friends from the podcast. We've built new clients, new relationships. We're spreading a mental health message. We've had a lot of fun, and that's the big thing. We'll share Charlie and I a secret. When we do our really, really important, powerful, pre-show meetings, just to tell everyone what to expect, we go, it's really simple. You're going to walk in having fun and smiling. We're going to talk for about an hour, and you're going to walk out having fun and smiling. If we've achieved that, we know we're going to have a great episode, and we're going to be able to put a great episode together. So, how are you feeling at the moment, Emily? Yeah, all right.
You sure? You feeling better?
I feel better. All better.
Right. So we do have the podcast diaries to write. We're going to keep on working on our Kick-Ass PR. I think for me, it's been a pleasure to work with you and to work with all your team at Publicity Engineers. So for us, long may that continue.
Absolutely, yeah.
Wrapping things up, because we have to wrap things up. Charlie gets upset. He starts flashing big lights and stuff like that.
I did see him stamp his feet a minute ago. Yeah.
He's building up. What happens next? What happens next? He goes like that. Then he'll get his phone, right? And then he starts putting messages on his phone with actually how long we've got left. Sometimes it's like, you're boring now.
Yeah.
You know, please go back to something near the script. Do you know what I mean? But we've given all 19 of the previous guests the chance to just sign off the podcast with a closing message.
Yeah.
And that could be to your friends, the family, industry, the world in general. So, Emily McCullagh, Managing Director of the Publicity Engineers, close off Season 5, Episode 20 of The Foy and Jones Show. Fair play, Charlie.
I love that.
You can just go like that.
Just like
Irons,
that.
you know
Enough said. Well, I think, one, shout out to you guys for, firstly, the invite, thinking of me, wanting to have a podcast episode with me.
Jack O'Connell, he said to me about episode 10, he went, when's Emily on? I went, but she'd be perfect. I went, yeah, I've got a good idea. I went, Holly, I've got a good idea.
He tricked me into it. He tricked me. But yeah, so thanks to you, but also thanks to the industry more than anything. I think we have shown huge levels of resilience in the last couple of years. I mean, I've been part of the KBB industry specifically for over 12 years now, and media for over 15. And it has completely changed from when I first entered it to where it is now. But I think there are huge opportunities. So, yes, we're going through Brexit. Yes, we've got energy price risings. Yes, there's inflation. My God, it feels like everything's coming at us. But with that, there are huge opportunities for our industry. Why? Because there is virtue to how, very bespoke our industry is by nature. We can customise the products, the designs, the manufacturing techniques. Sustainability is huge, and I think it's an amazing to see all of the different brands and businesses in the industry literally stepping up, having an element of corporate social responsibility where, say, 5-10 years ago, there wasn't any.
De nada.
Mental health, again, you raise it. That is massive in the workplace. And I think where people were isolated and working from home, that's shone a light on actually the need for interaction, face-to-face communication, support in the right places. And so really, for me, my rally cry is to say it is all about the industry. It always has been. So if somebody says to me, what do you do for a living? Where do you work? I don't say I'm in PR. I say I'm in the KBB industry. I am a distributor, just like you. I am a service provider, and I see myself in the same remit as you guys, and I talk to the same people, and I'm around the same customers. So I think for me, it's making sure that as long as you've got the right people behind you, you can continue to drive the appetite there, and you've got somebody who's able to tell the story and it will be heard. I think there's longevity to your brand and your business. So just be brave, and thank you. Keep up the work. KBB industry, you rock. I love it.
Irons.
This is officially my sign-off for everything now, forevermore. I'm not even going to say goodbye anymore.
So from my perspective, what's quite unique, and thank you, by the way, thank you to every single guest we've had from episode 1 to episode 20. It's been, without a doubt, it's been our top charting podcast. It's been more fun than ever before. Just the whole Plus X studio experience with Charlie as a producer has just transformed it for me. It's what I really look forward to. This is not work, all right? Yeah. This is something which we can enjoy and we can celebrate. But to have both of you in the studio is really powerful, because without a doubt, Emily, you and Publicity Engineers have made a visible difference to myself and my businesses and my family as well, because they talk about you like they know you, and they do know you. That's why they talk about you like they know you. But that's how integrated you are. It's not just a supplier or there. It's you're part of what we do. This fella over here, Charlie Hula, he got his own episode last week because he's the man, and will that be out now, Charlie? We never caught, yeah.
Tomorrow, I'm announcing it live tomorrow.
It's I think it's out. I think it's live. It should be out today. So the Charlie Hula episode is really special. That's out today, but. Charlie has added a complete new level of videography, musical production, editing. It's just transformed what we are, and we are only as good as the people we surround ourselves by, and that's really what I want to end the series on. We've done much more than get back to business. We've made a difference. It's been a brilliant podcast to be part of. So thank you to every single listener, whether you've listened on iTunes, whether it's Spotify, whether it's YouTube, whether it's just the clips we put out, the video clips on LinkedIn that people are really buying into and really feeding back on. Every single bit of feedback makes a difference. We will be going again. Couple of things I want to mention as we get to the end of the episode. Gemma Oaten, we worked very closely with Gemma Oaten a year or so ago, and her charity Seed. She's not too well at the moment,
she's
so Gemma, thoughts are with you and your family. Hope you feel better very, very soon. Obviously, we are still publicly, visibly standing with Ukraine, so Slava Ukraine. It's still horrific. Every week goes by, I hope we can come on and talk about something positive.
It does put things in perspective, doesn't it?
It puts so much into perspective. It really does. But for me, Charlie, thank you for being such a big part of the show. Emily, thanks for coming down today. I don't even want to say this, but ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of episode 20 of season 5 of the Foy and Jones Show. It's our last episode. We will take care, so stay safe, stay healthy, stay safe, keep healthy and be positive. We have gone back to business with the Foy and Jones Show. I'm Peter Raymond Jones. Always a pleasure, never a chore. ODM, let's go. Irons. And one more time. Sing it with me. Harry Wilson, Mitrovic and Neeskins scoring goals all night. We are Premier League. Take care.